It is the PD coordinators webinar for June 8th. So we will get ourselves started. Today, basically the same agenda, updates from the PD centers, new trainings, conferences and statewide events, monthly webinar series announcements, test training announcements, PD portal announcements, and then PD coordinator time. So first up is our updates from the professional development centers, and we have Joan with the Career Pathways PDC.
Hi, everyone. I am here with just a quick plug for the next Workforce Wednesday, which will be over strengthening your workforce partnership. And we're going to have Trey Daniel and Mike Sines of the Career Pathways PD Center share how your program can strengthen and enhance your collaboration and service integration through the professional learning of the Workforce Integration Academy. Cohort 2 of the Academy will assist programs to develop strategies to increase and support partnership development across the workforce system. And that is on June 14th at 12:30. And we hope to see you there. I'm sure Olga's probably going to have a little bit more info on this later on, but I just wanted to do a quick plug right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joan. All right, next we have Michelle with the Distance Education PDC.
Hello, everyone. We just wanted to remind you that there is training available on the DART curriculum. Now, this is the curriculum that combines digital literacy training with low-level English language learning training. So you're integrating digital literacy directly into those low-level ESL classes. If you want to take a look at the curriculum, I put the link in the chat box. This curriculum is available for you to use as an entire curriculum, starting at the beginning and going through all 20 lessons, or you may want to just grab one unit or lesson to do with your students. But anyway, we want to make sure you know that we have trainers who are prepared to come to your program and train your instructors on how to actually teach from this curriculum. It's a great training, and you can request this from your PD specialist. Next slide. We also have Tech Playground. We've had a really great crowd last month, and we're looking forward to this month. We have in 2023 transitioned Tech Playground to be 4 credit, which is a great thing. And our next one will be June 27th from 12 to 1 p.m. And we're going to practice creating shortened or customized URLs using things like tinyURL or Bitly. Practice creating QR codes so that you can put those on a slide or on some sort of flyer for your students to be able to scan to go directly to a website. And practice how to share those customized URLs and QR codes and how to create hyperlinks within documents and emails. So very practical skills. I know, like for me, once I learned Control K and inserting a hyperlink, I've never gone back. It was life-changing for me, and I use it multiple times a day. I hope it will be a great new skill for many of your instructors. So encourage them to come. Next slide. Just a reminder about the call center, we are open this summer. And so I'm hoping that even if programs have scaled back at all in how many classes they're offering this summer, I hope they still have learners using distance learning curriculum, because we don't want our learners to take a break all summer. They're going to lose some of their learning if they do that. So as they are working on their distance learning curriculum, we want them to know that there's support available for them. So make sure they know that, but also your instructors, make sure that they know they can call us 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're here for both instructors and students, and we're not scaling back this summer. We are open all summer long. Next slide, and this is the last one. And then the last thing we wanted to mention is that we do have a Texas AEL Distance Education Roadshow This is for us to be able to come in person to your program to give a presentation about everything that the DEPDC does, and particularly about the call center. We will do presentations to your staff. We'll do presentations in your classes. We'll do some live demos using the call center. I'm going to be at Region 2 this weekend doing this with both students and instructors down in Corpus Christi. And so if you want something like that, reach out to your PD specialist. We are booked through September. No, that's not true. We may have room for one session in July. So if you want that July session at your program, you should reach out to your PD specialist super fast. Otherwise, we would love to come visit you anytime after September. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Now we're going into new training conferences and statewide events. And you'll see that it's kind of a quiet time at the moment. So Paula?
Yes, we're rounding up the year. We have next Thursday is the Laredo Literacy Symposium, which will be actually at the Laredo College in the Student Center. And that is a face-to-face. And then come visit us in College Station. The 2023 Literacy Texas Conference will be July 31st through August 2nd, and it will be in our town of College Station. Now, Anne-Marie's got the link and all the information, so you can register and peruse either one of these conferences on the Literacy Texas website. Thank you.
Next, we're going to get into our monthly webinar series. And Wendy, you're up first with Manager Monday.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so the next Manager Monday is this Monday coming up on June 12th, again from noon to 1. They're always the same time. The topic this month is overview of the AEL Leadership Excellence Academy. And we have Lori Sloyton from TWC and Beth Ponder from TCAL. They're going to talk about what the Leadership Excellence Academy is, because we're going to be having our kickoff of the new cohort in September at the Fall Institute. So if you have any folks that you think might benefit from the Leadership Excellence Academy, and this can be either somebody in a leadership position, or we also have a track for instructor leaders. It is something you want to tune in for and maybe recommend that other people tune in for so that they can learn all about what the AEL Leadership Excellence Academy entails. Next slide. And then in July and August, we have Veronica Moore from TWC. She's going to cover the ABCs of MSGs. We have a part 1 and a part 2. Now, Veronica is doing these ABCs of MSGs on Teacher Tuesdays. However, she is going to tailor these sessions more for the leadership perspective in the Manager Monday sessions. So Teacher Tuesday is great for those who are in instructor side, and then Manager Monday would be anybody in some sort of leadership position. They might get a different perspective from Veronica Moore as she covers all things about MSGs, part 1 and 2 in July and August. And then the next slide, I believe, is just the remainder sessions for this program year. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in the chat for you all so you can make sure that you have them on your calendar if you haven't already done so.
June 13th is the Teacher Tuesday, part 2 of ABCs of MSGs with Veronica Moore. So there's already several people registered. You do not have to have done part 1 to participate in part 2. So encourage your staff to join that. In July, I am super excited about this one. Many programs have asked for resources on the Spanish GED, and so we actually have a session happening July 11th. Kimberly Gaines is a presenter from Alabama, and she has this Hablas GED session, and it's going to be about Spanish GED sources. and resources and such. So please, like I said, I'm really excited about this one. Join us, and it will be recorded. So if your staff is on summer vacation, it will be in the portal for them to see at a later date.
Thank you so much, Krista. So I'm going to go over this, even though you might have heard it already. June 14th, already next week, we will have Trey Daniel and Mike Signs sharing information on strengthening your workforce partnership through Workforce Integration Academy. So if you're interested in furthering your collaboration with the local workforce board, if your answer is yes, then join us for this Career Pathways Professional Development Center as they share how your program can strengthen and enhance your collaboration and service integration through the professional learning of the Workforce Integration Academy. So join in on the session, learn more about the Academy and how you can apply to participate. So we look forward to having you at Workforce Wednesday. Next slide. And then these are just the remaining dates for the year. Of course, June 14th, etc. And I'm going to put those in the chat. So thank you very much.
All right. So hello again, everyone. And this week on June 9th, we welcome back a presenter by the name of Wendy Velez Torres. And she's actually a professor, well, an instructor and a technology specialist at Chapin University in Baltimore, Maryland. And last week, Wendy joined us, not last week, but the week before, and she talked about assistive technology in Microsoft Office. So if you weren't able to join that one, it will be in the portal. But this week, Wendy's going to be back, and she's going to talk about assistive technology in Google Slides and Docs. And I'm really excited about this because I know so many of us use Google, and our students use Google, the Google tools, and very, very usable information. And she's all about helping instructors make their documents and materials accessible for students with disability. So we're really excited to welcome Wendy Velez Torres back to Tech and Tell this week. So next slide. And I just continue being very jazzed because in July, we have our very own Ashley Winkle is going to be discussing a tool that is called Book Creator. And it's going to be a two-parter. So on July 21st, it's going to be just an introduction of exploring the basics. And basically, Book Creator is a way to create multimodal digital books with a very user-friendly interface. So you can use it in the classroom, but you can also use it to develop instruction manuals for your team. And this is considered one of the most accessible free ed tech tools out there right now. And so again, lots of features to make it accessible for everyone. So part one is going to be exploring the basics, and then she'll be back on July 28th to talk about using Book Creator one step at a time. So first understanding and then using. So really excited for Ashley to join us on Tech and Tell. So, and registration should be available in the PD portal, I'd probably say in the next day or two. So look for that. Next slide. And we do have one August date that is available. I am working on the fall right now, but a little teaser for August and September is we're going to do two Tech and Tells on mind mapping tools and the free mind mapping tool. So I'm going to bring back a presenter to help us. So August and September is going to be how do you use mind maps for writing, math, even reading. So that's coming up. And next slide.
And Tiffany says, mind maps are so lovely. I agree. And so, as always, we want to say thank you and reach out to us anytime with suggestions. And I'll put everybody's emails in the chat pod here in a minute. Thank you, Krista.
We now have training of trainer announcements, and this will be Tracy.
Good afternoon. We have a very quiet group today, but this may spark some conversation. I'm going to throw this out here. We had some breaking news this morning. I didn't even add a slide yet, so I'm going to talk about it. If you're using Best Plus and Best Literacy, you may have gotten the notification that Best Plus 3.0 and Best Literacy 2.0 have been approved by Octave for NRS use. So what this means is a lot of things. There's like a lot of questions. Don't panic. You may have teachers and staff and coordinators and even your director asking, what are we going to do about this? Because currently the current versions of the trainings that we're using or the test are approved through February 2024. So that brings up a lot of questions about transition. Let me tell you that next week, there is already, thankfully, we already had a meeting on the books with Mahalia, our team, and Cal to discuss transition for our state. Each state, and so that would be TWC, has to make the decision how our state will transition to the new test versions, because teams may have to be altered a bit. The scale scores may change a bit because of the level descriptor changes, which are a bit more rigorous in these new tests, than the old ones. So there's going to be some things that may shift, in teams as well. So that has to be fixed if that's the case. So just hang tight, stay tuned. I'm sure Mahalia will speak to this at some, soon and let y'all know that things are under consideration and the way we'll transition. There'll be a sunset period, if you will, for the old tests. Now, the thing about it being approved through February 2024 brings up a good question of if you, pre-test a student in July, say on Best Plus, and you haven't gotten them post-tested by February, what does that do? So those are all kinds of things we will be talking to Cal about next Thursday afternoon. So I just wanted to let you know, that we're aware, TWC is aware, and TWC will have to make some decisions and get the word out to the field about this. If you have any, great burning questions about this transition that affects you at the local level, I'm going to come up with a list of questions for our meeting next Thursday and ask our trainers some of our trainers that do training for these testing topics to see if they have any questions. Feel free to email me if there's just something that you want to add to the conversation. And I'm going to send these questions to Cal, and they hopefully will be able to, we can discuss them next week. So just letting you know it's on our radar. And that's my email there in case anyone wants to email me. So, okay, so that's exciting news, yet it's stressful news because that means a big change. So anyway, what we're on it for now. So, okay, if you'll go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, we have a Texas Style TABE Class E Test Administrator Training pilot that we're doing at College of the Mainland next week, as a matter of fact, next Friday. And we've got good response from this. We're going to have a nice group of people for this training. And we're excited about this because we have needed a TABE Class E Test Administrator. Well, it's for online, I should say that. I apologize. We've needed this training. Tiffany Johnson has developed it. So we will, run through this training as a pilot, and then we'll start working on a training of trainers for this testing tool. Seems like more programs have interest in this as we go through this past year. I've had a lot of programs wanting to be curious about going to this, programs who are using it that need this training to be in compliance with TWC. So I'm excited that we're getting this off the ground. There's still a few slots available in the registration in the PD portal. It will be face-to-face, so there would be travel involved for that one. But don't worry if you can't make this one. Again, we will build this out into a training of trainers and hopefully roll that out. I'm hoping in the fall. We'll just have to see. There's just so much going on, but that's kind of the goal. So I'm just excited for birthing this baby and moving along with this training. And if you have any questions, let me know. I think that's it for me. We don't have any other TOT scheduled for assessments right now. We'll probably send out a survey in August asking you what your program needs are, as we do every year. So we'll talk about that later. And then that's all I have. Thanks so much. And any questions, let me know.
Tracy. Yeah.
You are welcome.
All right.
It was a quiet group. My gosh.
Oh, good. Put a baby in the chat.
Yes, we're birthing a baby. That's what we call it when we do a new test administrator training in TOT. It is a long process. Well, and can I throw one more thing at Krista?
Sure,
The
absolutely.
same thing is going to be occurring with CASAS. They have got new series that they're waiting on approval as well. So this is going to be coming out. Usually this kind of stuff rolls out in June, by the end of June. Then a Federal Register notice will come out at the beginning of July from Octave saying that these tests have been approved. So there's going to be a lot of shifting and transition with both of these test trainings in the next year. But just be aware that TWC has to make these transition decisions, and we'll definitely be communicating with y'all what that transition will look like. So you may be hearing rumors about that too. So CASAS is another one. There's a lot going on, and that's it.
All right. And Tracy and her team are on top of it. So never fear. All right. Moving on to PD portal announcements. And this is Miss Laura Greer.
Hi, everybody. Before diving into updates and end of year announcements, I'm happy to announce that we have a new team member here at TCAL. You can see his lovely face on the slide. His name is Andrew Jakes, and he has joined us from South Carolina. He is going to be working on the instructional design process with new asynchronous content, as well as the webinar post-production process. As I said earlier, he joined us from South Carolina, but he is an experienced educator who has taught English literature in, get this, Turkey, China, Malaysia, and Japan. So he's a real world traveler there. And his experience spans middle school, high school, and the college levels. So we're super excited for him to join the team and bring his experience and unique perspective to our processes. So welcome, Andrew.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the kind words.
All right. Yep, new courses. So it's been a little bit of a slower month for post-production. We have one that has been published, one new one, and that's the Workforce Wednesday 6 contextualized video lessons to upskill student success. But we do have 4 that are like, 98% ready, and they should be coming out probably within the next week. So I went ahead and put them on this slide. We have Teacher Tuesday, ABCs of MSGs, Part 1, Manager Monday, AEL reporting in Tableau, and then Tech and Tell, Pair the Class Up, integrating Pear Deck. And that was a 2-part webinar. And we have both of those available in the portal soon. Sorry, we will have both of those available in the portal very soon as 2 separate asynchronous courses. All right. Perfect. The next couple, let's see, the next 2 or 3 slides for me is really going to focus on a couple of end of year, beginning of year announcements. So first off, unavailable courses. As of June 23rd, I am going to be taking availability off of Understanding Principles of Adult Learning 22-23, and then our 3 links courses. So I had to get creative putting this on the slide because they're super lengthy titles. They all start out with links, adult career pathways, designing contextualized instruction. And then you can fill in the rest of the title with the first, second, or third bullet. So it's 3 separate courses. But those are in different ways, just some of our higher maintenance courses in terms of end user experience and providing support. So we're taking down the availability a little bit early. What this means is your staff will not be able to find it and request it, and you will not be able to find it and assign it. If you have staff who have it on their transcript already, or if between now and the 23rd you assign it to someone, they'll still be able to finish it in that last week of June. So we're not taking it off of anybody's transcript. We're just making it so that it cannot be searched for and found. And then the 3 links courses will be available again starting July 1st. And we will have a new updated version of Understanding Principles of Adult Learning that we will probably announce next month. Next. Okay, sorry, I got my slides crossed on my own screen. So annual PD Portal courses. So this is just another kind of heads up that this will be happening. All of our annual courses, so they have PY 2022, 2023 at the end of them. And we call these our annual courses because these are courses that participants tend to take from one year to the next. So these will all be deactivated at midnight on June 30th. And then starting July 1st, we will have a new version of each course. And we're going to dabble this coming program year or 2 in utilizing a request more than once feature in the portal with these courses. So we will talk about that more next month and then probably again in August, just as a reminder. But just for now, heads up, these courses are deactivating at midnight on the 30th. All right, I promise I'm almost done, guys. Okay, end of year reports, just quick friendly reminder. There are reports that are in the PD portal to help you. We do have a couple links we're going to drop in the chat pod. Supervisors, your instructions for some of your reports are available on the Wakelet. Participants, we have a PDF that will tell them how to run their own transcript report. And I will say on that one, they need, if they're running it themselves or you're running it for yourself, you need to pay very close attention to the filters and checkboxes that we ask you to use, because if you don't, it's going to give you weird different stuff that you don't actually need, or it's going to withhold stuff that you do need, so it'll be totally skewed and weird. And then I went into a lot more depth with these reports last month. I got into the portal, I demoed, there was really great conversation and questions that were asked. And for anyone who was not here last month or who would like to review that for your viewing pleasure, it is available on YouTube. And I believe we have the link that we'll be dropping in the chat pod for that as well. So that's why I'm kind of like skimming over the top on this one. Go check out the YouTube video. If you have questions, let me know and I will be happy to help. All right, next, please. There we go, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna live demo again this month, and this is where I'm going to do this. So assigning training in the PD portal. We recognize as we get closer to the end of the month that, or I'm sorry, the end of the program year, that more and more PD coordinators are assigning training to their staff. And we have two very specific paths through which we would like you to assign professional development. So I'm going to share my screen and let me find it. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just take you through, kind of show you the paths that we ask you to use when assigning sessions, which are the live training. It might be live face-to-face training. It might be live webinars, and our asynchronous stuff, which we call curricula. So if you are going to assign an online course to your staff, so understanding principles of adult learning, AEL fundamentals, any of those courses, any of our pre-recorded and edited webinars, so forth and so on, please go into the portal, hover over Find Training, and then click on Search. So what this brings up is your global search. And I am going to type in a search phrase, and I'm going to search for AEL fundamentals and hit enter. And that's going to bring up multiple search results. And if you click show more, it will, as indicated, show more. The one thing I want to show you, and this is actually not the best example, I realize, is if you are searching in this instance only for those online courses, you want to click on over here on the left side where it says training, click on the books. And that's going to filter it down to only show you the online training that's available. So let me see if I can do a different one that will be a better example. Clear. Let's do adult learning principles. Okay, so here you can see it brings up lots of different stuff. The calendar, oops. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, scroll down. The calendar icon is an event, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But then the books are your online courses. So to only get your online courses, again, this is where you're going to click on the books. And then it's going to filter that down to show you just the online stuff that's available for assigning. Okay, so events and sessions are live training that take place, whether it's face-to-face or in an online environment. It is certain, specific time, place, whether it's Zoom or on-site, that you have to be to attend this training. For that, hover over Find Training and click on Events Calendar. That's going to bring you here. Anything you see on this calendar is going to be something that you can assign to your staff. So if it's on the calendar, that means it is scheduled, it is happening, there is an instructor, there is a location, so forth and so on. So just for instance, if I wanted to assign a training, we're going to use Workforce Wednesday as the example. Click on the title. And then in this information panel over here that appears, you click Assign. And this is all on a PDF. We have handouts for this, I promise. And then from here, you can select which staff members, which team members you want to assign this to. You also want to click Automatically Register Users. And what that does is that just skips over a couple of back-end steps and makes it a more seamless process. And then click Submit. It's really as simple as that. And then it's going to bring you back to this information panel. That's really a nice segue. I'm going to stop sharing and go back to the slides. That is a nice segue into one other thing I had on the slides, and that is to please, pretty please with sugar on top, notify your staff of training that you're assigning to them. We unfortunately are still having issues with the our email system because of the server update that happened a little while ago. And so not all of our emails are getting through, which means that if you assign something and they don't happen to go to their transcript and see it, then they might not know it's there because the emails quite possibly have not gotten through to them. And we're in the process of getting this fixed in the back end. Questions, comments, concerns, please email pdportal@tamu.edu and we will be happy to help. Next slide. Last slide, I promise. All right, last slide. This is how we're available, pdportal@tamu.edu or the phone number on the screen. Our business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. During business hours, we have a great team and a pretty fast response rate. It says less than 24 hours on the screen, but I mean, we're talking typically within an hour to 2 hours, we can get a response out to you or your staff members, so long as it's within business hours. We are here to help. Please relay to your staff, not to.
Okay, let's do PD coordinator time. Maybe my computer will settle down. This is just a repeat from last month about the conference session spreadsheet. If you're within a couple of weeks of being locked out of Teams, so please make sure if you have anything that needs to get into Teams, please get it to your PD specialist. And then we have this slide that talks about that Train PD enters all the sessions for Tanley and Literacy Texas. You don't have to worry about any of those. National conferences, TESOL, COABE, all of those we will take care of for you, including online activities from World Education Links, GED, any of those webinars, because there may be other people in the state that are taking the same ones. So please make sure you look under national and state conferences. And then if you see the entries, you can put your staff right in. If you don't see it, fill out the conference spreadsheet and we will get it into Teams for you. Chat, okay, DLTI, did I miss when those will be updated for certificates? We're still in the process, Tiffany, of doing the attendance. There was quite a few sessions, so we're still working on that. So probably by next week, the certificates will be in the portal. And Leslie for Denton, she is asking, is there any program offering a Best Plus 2.0 training that they could send some people to? So she's got 3 people that need the training. Is there any local program? Please contact Leslie if you can invite some people over. Okie dokie. So let's move on. Keep putting your questions in. This is perfect. So every program should have their PD recommendations now. And now it's time to work with that PD plan. And just as a reminder that it's due by June 30th. Your PD specialists here are here to help as the plan is created. Remember that there is some overlap and some alignment with the detailed project plan that went out this past week from Elena Madrid. So lining up your goals, making them smart between program goals and PD goals. So, but reach out to your PD specialist as you need it. Okay. All right. Pilar says Blinn College is hosting a face-to-face CASAS training this Monday. So if anybody needs a CASAS training, And Blinn College is in Bryan, Texas, right here where we are at Texas A&M. So if anybody needs a CASAS training, let your PD specialist know that you might want to attend that, and we'll get the registration, help get your people registered. All right, so Tiffany Lee says, I have an email template for new teachers that I send out when their PD portal is approved and the assignments were assigned through the PD portal. As for assigning them, there's no way to copy, like Laura said. I assign new teachers by going to the team button, find the teacher, and then click assign and search for the required training. So no shortcut around the assigning and searching. So our next PD coordinator webinar will be July 13th.